Hello everyone, and welcome to another midweek video message update. As always, I hope this inquiry finds you safe, healthy, and well. Our video message update is going to look a little different here for the next 5 weeks of the season of Lent. Typically, Pastor Kristen and I have made a video presentation, somehow tying it or interpreting something that's going on out in the world. We're going to take a little detour from that approach, and for the next 5 weeks, again for the season of Lent, I just want to share with you a devotional. One of the practices of the season of Lent, beyond fasting and giving alms to the poor, is prayer and devotional life. Perhaps some of you don't have a devotional life and you'd like to start one. Perhaps some of you would like to improve your discipline of prayer and devotion life. Whatever your case or whatever situation you might find yourself in, what I thought I'd do for the next several weeks is just share with you a devotion that we're using here at Christ Lutheran Church. That devotion is called Places of the Passion. Now, we made this available at our Drive-In Ash Wednesday worship. You can also get a copy of it by giving us a call here at the office. Be happy to provide that to you. We could also put some out in our lending library. So if you're near the church, you could just swing in, grab a copy or two out of the box, one for yourself and maybe one for a neighbor or a friend. In any event, what I wanted to do this week is just share with you one of the devotions for each of the days of Lent. And this one comes from Friday of last week. One of the questions that Places of the Passion answers is, who is Jesus? And the Compassionate King devotional goes this way. Matthew 1, verses 1 through 17 reads much like a telephone book. Back in the dark ages, you'd actually have to look up someone's phone number in a book. That's what Matthew's first chapter sounds like. A big, fat, dull, dry telephone book. In the ancient world, people trace their ancestry through their fathers. It comes as no surprise then that Matthew's genealogy is predominantly male. However, do you see that Matthew also mentions 4 women? They aren't the sweethearts and the darlings of the Old Testament like Sarah, Rebecca, and Rachel. No, they are the outcasts named Tamar, Rahab, Ruth, and Bathsheba. These women are all Gentiles, and with less than sterling reputations. The Jews expected a Messiah who would drive out their Roman oppressors and crush the Gentiles. But Jesus, the Compassionate King, doesn't drive out enemies. Jesus, the Compassionate King, welcomes outcasts. This devotion by Reed Lessing, I think, causes us to ask and answer a couple questions. The first question is, where in the world do you see Jesus that might surprise you? Places that you might not expect. Is it not often that we judge people as less than ideal citizens? Is it not often that we judge people that they just don't live up to the standards, that they aren't just quite good enough? Is it not quite often that we are quick to point out and judge people for their faults and their inadequacies? But when we do that, we're also judging Jesus, and who would dare do that? For the resurrected Jesus is just as much present and active in the lives of those people that we judge as Jesus is in our own lives. Surprising sometimes, isn't it? The second question I think that Reed Lessing helps us ask and answer this week is whether we consider ourselves the outcasts or the enemies. How do we see ourselves as faith participants? If we're going to spend our time judging other people, are we not then an enemy? Because as Lessing points out to us, Jesus is the compassionate King, and he isn't spending time driving out the enemies. Jesus is spending time welcoming the outcasts, the people who decide and who see themselves as not measuring up, as not being worthy. Friends and neighbors in Christ, are we not all unworthy? Let us leave the judging to God who judges us in the righteousness of Jesus. And let us recognize during the season of Lent that you and I are the outcasts, the people with less than sterling reputations and behaviors. And thank God Jesus doesn't drive us away, but Jesus welcomes us into this community, unconditionally welcoming, unconditionally embracing, unconditionally forgiving, and unconditionally sending us back out in the world to serve our neighbors with new and holy purpose. Be blessed this week in your Lenten journey as we follow Jesus to the cross. We discover who God is through Jesus, and we discover who we are in our faith participation. God bless. Have a good week. See you soon. Bye-bye.